Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, brothers and sisters. How is everybody doing? Hope everybody is well. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. If I can be heard, let me get a one, brothers and sisters. All right. All right. Everybody is good? Hoping so. That's a blessing. Now, this particular lesson, how to understand the dictionary. Shalom, giving honor and praise to the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. Brothers and sisters, everybody's well. I hope people will get their pens, their pads, may have to expand the screen, and so forth. All right? So I can be heard? Good. All righty. I want to, brothers and sisters, take the time out now to verbally speak about a person who has helped me along the way with this particular channel. A sister that I have come to respect as a friend. She's actually the one who I'll send her the PowerPoints and she'll do what she can do to sit there and jazz it up and make it look more appealing, if you will. You understand? So I'm definitely, grateful to the Creator for that. The sister by the name of Dami. Another person that I've known only from online for over a year, who shares the videos, subscribe to the channel, the sister Mika. Much respect to those two. And of course, Ima Tamikia, Ima Basheba, Ima Miriam, Ima Dina, and Ima Ketura, who were mentioned this past Friday night in regards, brothers and sisters, to those who caused me to be able to become a teacher. You understand, in this particular regard. All right? Now, let's go on to the next slide. Now, what you're looking at on the left-hand side is a book that I commonly use, the Ben Yehuda Hebrew Dictionary, right? And this right here, as stated, is the suggested book to get. Now, this is not something that you have to get. This is just something that I suggest one gets. All right? So we can sit there and gain understanding for that. Now, with this title here, How to Use the Dictionary in Hebrew, right? We're going to be focusing, okay, on how to use this dictionary for edification purposes. Okay, now I'm in the teacher mode, but I'm kind of also in the chill mode. So if it don't sound, quote, as serious, believe me, it's going to get there. All right. So we're going to go on brothers and sisters, into this particular regard and continue for, as always stated, edification purposes. This book is available on Amazon.com. Next slide. Now, what you're looking at, brothers and sisters, right? Is called what? The A matter. And this is in regards with this dictionary here, as you see, English, Hebrew, Hebrew, English. So one part of it goes from English to Hebrew, and the other part goes, all right, Hebrew to English. And we want to go and show how that's used and how that is manifested in that particular regard. Okay? So, are there any questions or comments concerning this before we get into the actual core of the matter? Now, when we sit there and see this, brothers and sisters, and it says the A matter, you see where the laser is at A? Then you see Ba'alef Bet Ba'angali Rishon. Then you have A, Aaron, Ab, Abak, Abath, abandoned. All right. Now, this thing that we're looking at, okay, that's going to be encircled in the red, N, stands for the word noun. Okay, that's what that stands for. That stands for, brothers and sisters, noun. Abandon, verb, as we see right here, or verb intrusive, okay? Now, for instance, the way to say to abandon or leave is commonly understood as we see here the word azab. So you have it as azabti, which means I left or I abandoned. All right, so that's how that go in that particular regard. Now, just as you see an English dictionary that's not even English Hebrew or whatever, and it goes A, AB, AB, ABH, ABI, right? It's alphabetized in that particular regard. Well, when you're dealing with the Hebrew dictionary, this particular thing is also, as we can say, alphabetized. Okay? And it has guidelines that we can see on the top as we're going to go over in this next part here. Right? This is more so of a close-up shot of how the dictionary aspect would be. Okay? So now we have adjective, that N stands for noun, PL stands for plural. So accessories, Mak, Shirin, Ab, Zarin. Now, this particular lesson is not so much about Hebrew vocabulary as much as, brothers and sisters, this book, pardon me, this lesson is about how to understand the dictionary itself. So I just wanted to show, okay, a close-up or a shot close-up of how that would be. It's alphabetized, ACCE, right? ACCI, just like any other dictionary. Now, this, as we already are seeing, is going from the English to the Hebrew. So let's go on. Then we have the B matter, right? BAR, BAND, BANDI, BANDO, BANE. So you can see this is alphabetized, all right? Same particular aspect as with the A. So are there any questions concerning what we went over thus far? Any questions or comments concerning what we've gone over so far? Any questions or comments so far? Low? All right. So, next part. What we're looking at here is inside that dictionary under the letter B. Still going from the English to the Hebrew side, right? Bad, bad, badge, badger, badger, badly. And it keeps on going on, right? Actually starts on this side as far as the alphabetized aspect. But we begin to see exactly what it is in that particular regard. Next slide. Now, this is the part, brothers and sisters, in which it gets into the Hebrew aspect. Because remember, this is the English Hebrew, Hebrew English dictionary that we're talking about, right? So let's look. You have here beginning Aleph. This right here that you see there is the ancient form of writing it. So Aleph, first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Ab, father, ancestor, master, teacher, originator, source. Ab, Zahwain, grandfather. Ab, Koreg, stepfather. Ab, Beit Din, chief justice. Ab, Tum'ah, prime cause of defilement, because Tum'ah means defilement. All right? So just want to point that out for edification purposes. This alphabet, right? Now going from the Hebrew to the English side, starts off as Aleph, then Aleph and Bet, Aleph and Bet, Aleph and Bet, Aleph and Bet, and it keeps on going all the way down, Aleph and Bet, right? Now let's look. Aleph, Bet, Aleph, Aleph, Bet, Bet, Aleph, Bet, Gamel, Aleph, Bet, Dalit. Then it goes on Aleph, Bet, Hey, and so forth and so on. Then we see Aleph, Bet, Wow, Aleph, Bet, Wow. Then it goes on Aleph, Bet, Ket. So it's still alphabetized, but just from the Hebraic aspect. Are there any questions concerning what we just went over thus far on this particular slide? All right, next slide. Aleph continued. Here we see to be read, Adam, Hadim, to blush, to flush, Hit Adim. Then the point is, brothers and sisters, and I want to circle this for edification purposes. If we look up top here, that's the context clues of how it's alphabetized. It goes from Aleph Dalit Mem to Aleph Waw Dalit Noon, as we see circled over on the left-hand side of such. All right. So just as you would know A, B, C, D, you would have to know the Aleph Bet Gamel Dalit. Hey, Wow Zion Ket Tet Yod, Kaf Lamed Mem Noon Samech Ayin Pei Zade Kuf Reshin Tau. You would have to understand that in order to be able to know how to follow along inside of the Hebrew dictionary. Okay, is that understood? Are there any questions so far concerning what we have just gone over? Any questions so far concerning what we have just gone over? Questions, comments, anyone? When this video is uploaded, all right, people can take the time out now to leave a comment within such to be candid. I'm just sharing something on Facebook real quick, brothers and sisters. Thank you for that. Alrighty, so next slide. The bet matter. Now, when you look at the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, right, is the letter tau. So now Aleph ends off this part with here, etain, which they say here means to recuperate. But etain really means to be strong or to be mighty, which when you gain your strength, you are recuperating. All right. So now let's look at this. You have the Aleph ends with the tau in that particular regard. Then you got bet as the second letter. Then it goes bet Aleph wow, bet Aleph resh. See how the pattern goes? But one would have to understand the alphabet in order to be able to sit there and even follow such an aspect. Are there any questions concerning what we've just gone over? See, the point in me asking, are there any questions concerning what we've just gone over, is everyone who is listening to this, if you didn't ask a question, the goal and hope, even if you did have a question and ask, is at the end of this lesson, you'll be able to know how to use this Hebrew dictionary and then be able to look up words yourself. See, because remember, we had a list that we went over last time, and that is you learn the alphabet and the vowels. Once you understand the alphabet and the vowels, you automatically are a reader. Once you are a reader, you get a dictionary, such as we see here. All right. Once you get that, brothers and sisters, you then build your vocabulary. So we're trying to step it up. The next several classes will be focused after this vocabulary and sentences, verbs. We're stepping it up and mixing it in where we were just dealing with verbs. Now we're dealing with the dictionary. Now we're going to step it up to the next part to when we're making sentences with some of those verbs and building the vocabulary. That's the goal in these kind of classes, about stepping a bar up. Are there any questions concerning this? I want to repeat what we just went over. The Aleph in this particular aspect ends in this particular case here. Then you got bet. So it goes bet Aleph because it wouldn't be bet first, brothers and sisters, because Aleph is the first letter. All right. Then it goes bet Aleph wow. And it goes on from then. So let's go on. The bet matter continued, right? Bod. Badim. The word bod also means linen. All right. Like the kind of material. All right. Bada. Bet Dalit. As we see right there, right? Then you got Bet Dalit Aleph, Bet Dalit Aleph, Bet Dalit Dalit, Bet Dalit Dalit. All right. So once you begin as stated, if you already know the alphabet, this is already baby to you. And if you still have to learn the alphabet, don't feel away. All right. You can go back to lesson number 4, and the alphabet is there. You can go to Psalms 119 in the standard Bibles, and the alphabet is there. All right. So I'm gonna ask one more time. Any questions concerning this? Any questions or comments concerning this? Next slide. Ima Shoshana Bat Levy's book. This book is available on Show Levy at AOL.com. So if you want to get this book, you got to go to Show Levy at AOL.com. You cannot get this book on Amazon. All right. So I just want that to be noted. It's a very good book. I have purchased the book. It is, to be candid, more detailed than my book. You understand? No knock on self. But it's a very, very, as stated, a guide to speaking, reading, and understanding the language. The Bakalam matter that we went over is addressed in that book. Past, present, and future tense is addressed in that book. All right. So you want to learn Hebrew? Get this book by going onto the internet and going to showlevy at AOL.com. All right. Next slide. The Dalit Matter for the aspect of rehearsing. The Ab, the Abba, the Ag, the Aga. Now, why did I want to show this part right here, brothers and sisters? And we're going to use the pen in this regard. Okay, pay attention. You see this noon right here? And I want to sit there and show this. All right. Even in the black. I'm going to circle the red in the black. All right. So that way we can begin to see very distinctly what we're talking about. Can I get a 4? Press a 4 if you see that noon that is just been circled. There's a reason why I'm asking that. Can I get a 4 from everyone online, brothers and sisters, who sees what was just circled with that noon letter? Four, four. All righty, here we go. So now, what you're seeing, brothers and sisters, right there, that noon, okay, stand for this. And I want to write this out. All right, I'm going to have to make this, I'll say in red. Naqueba. Naqueba, brothers and sisters, means female. Naqueba. That's what this noon, brothers and sisters, signifies when you go into the book, the Hebrew book, and you see that N there next to a Hebrew word that's not part of that word, right? That N stands for Nequeba, which means female. Are there any questions with that? Now we want to circle this next thing, but put it inside of a different color. I'm going to put this one here, all right, in yellow. All right. Now, with that being there, can I get a 5 from everyone who sees the thing that's circled in the yellow? 5, 5. Can I get a 5 from everyone who sees what's just circled in the yellow? Okay. Now, what does that stand for? Is this the quabot? All right. And I want to emphasize this for edification purposes, if we will, right? With the black there, that oat sound, brothers and sisters, is showing Nequabot. So if Nequeba means female, Nequabot means feminine. All right. Are there any questions concerning what we just went over? All right. Nequeba means female. Nequabot means females or feminine. Okay. So now we want to keep that in the same aspect of the same color, the yellow. Now, what I'm going to sit there and circle, all right, I'm going to try to use the light blue. This little takeaway looking sign that you see there, right? Brothers and sisters, can I get a 6 from everyone who sees what was just circled in the blue. This is important to understand this dictionary. That's why I made sure this was there to go through it meticulously. All right. Can I get a 6 from everyone who happens to see that inside of the blue thing? All right. Can't go out like that. Gotta charge it back up. So, what we're looking at and seeing within the blue thing, that basically serves as a hyphen. All right. So, it's saying a space. That's all that is in that particular regard. Now, let's other color code some stuff. All right. Let's look at this here. We're going to make this one here purple. And what that serves, brothers and sisters, that little thing right there serves basically as a comma. And this, what we're going to sit there and show inside of, I'll say dark blue, right? Is serving as basically an apostrophe. All right. So let's look at this with the laser point thing. You got the apostrophe kind of aspect showing the separation. You got the comma kind of thing in the purple and the hyphen kind of thing there in the light blue. All right. So that's what I wanted to show in that particular regard. So if you just want to say the word, the aga, which means a worry, a care, or a concern, the agot is how you would say that as plural. All right. So let's see how that works, brothers and sisters, while we on this particular aspect, right? You have the aga, right? Which means what? Worry, care, or a concern. Then in its pluralized, you have what? The agot. So what happens is the hay drops off, and then you get the oat sound. So the aga, the agot. Now let's look at this carefully, brothers and sisters, right? You see what we're looking at? This is a gamel, a wow, and a tau. The aga, that hay will drop off and you get the agot. Are there any questions concerning what we've gone over so far? Questions or comments regarding this? For the people who just joined on, we want to take you back to this. Ima Shoshana Bat Levy's book. I recommend people get this book. It's very, very good. All right. Next slide. These books available on Amazon, pardon me, these books available on Lulu.com. Hebrew is Easy, written by myself, as you see here. And this book here, Deuteronomy 28, History Untold to the Masses. All right. So if there's any questions or comments, the floor is open as far as being able to type or so inside the chat. Questions or comments concerning this? Somebody wrote, Lo do eget, does not concern. That's what that means in the Hebrew that you see there typed. inside the chat. Then somebody wrote low, meaning no. Toda for the lesson, it's needed. Okay, so if there's no more questions or comments, we're going to do a little review. I'm going to advertise this book again. You can get it by going to showlevy at AOL.com. All right, I bought the book myself. All right, so Deuteronomy 28, 15 to 68, History Untold to the Masses. Then we have Hebrew is Easy. Both of these books available on lulu.com. All right. This is the suggested book dictionary to get. Not mandatory, but just suggested. So there's not any questions or comments. No need to sit there and hold the people on. Everyone, have a good night. Shalom. Somebody wrote, I kind of want to know your opinion on how lo and al are opposite in meaning and in writing. What is your opinion? Okay, well, let's look at that real quick because it is regarding Hebrew, right? I'm gonna put this in a different color. Let's put this pin, but let's put it in yellow, right? So let's look at that. Now, this is the lo, which means no or not, correct? And then we have the other part that was written there, al. This is no or not. This is don't. Sorry about my penmanship, but yeah, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna get this thing called a parlor. So now in the future, when I do get that thing on Amazon, we're going to sit there and have the writing be a whole lot more orderly as far as me writing the thing out. But to answer your question, what you see there in the yellow, all right, is lo or not. Lo tigno, thou shalt not steal. All right, lo ese, I will not do. All right. Whereas this is what you see in here in the red on the left hand side is al, which means don't. Al ta'ase, don't do. Al tiga, don't touch. So one is no or not. All right. No or not. And the other is don't. Hopefully that did answer the question. Are there any questions in regarding to what we went over? Or are there any questions regarding Hebrew itself? Any questions or comments concerning this kind of subject? And told out to you too. I assume brother Shaw. Okay, I don't know the gender, but I'm going to assume Shaw masculine. Okay. Questions or comments concerning this? All right. We're going to close out giving honor and praise unto the creator of heaven and earth. Shalom.